I'm ready.
Stella and I are making a coil pot, and everyone's going to start with a chunk of clay. To begin with, you're going to pull off a piece of clay, and in the palms of your hands, you're going to bang it into a ball. Yes. So I'm just going to bang it into a little bit of a ball. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to go about 2/3 of the way down to the bottom. And I can feel that with my fingers. And then I'm going to put that in the palm of my hand, and with my thumb inside, I'm just going to pinch and turn all the way around a couple of times.
Okay, bring it back, sweetie.
Here, there's more clay for her. Okay, then you have the bottom of your pot. So you want to tamp it down on the table a little bit to make the bottom of the pot flat. So you really want to kind of give it a smack there. And then you can take your thumb and supporting the outside, you can push along the outside wall to make that base a little bit wider. Don't worry if your edges are cracking a little bit. We'll take care of that in a minute. So you just want to go, you don't want to make it too thin. So you want to go until your walls are all about this size, about 1/4 of an inch. And you can see that I have some big holes in there and some cracking, and that's okay. So the next thing I want to do is I want to score it so that when I build on top of it, it has something to stick to. So I'm going to use a fork, and I'm going to support the outside wall, and I'm going to go all the way around and make marks all the way around. And then I'm going to take some clay, and you can use a tool or you can use your finger. I'm going to take some slip, some of the thick part, and I'm going to put it all the way around here. Just kind of spread it on, kind of like thin peanut butter. You want to go all the way around. And if you have a big divot like this, you could take kind of a bigger chunk of clay, of slip, and just stick it down in there. And that'll be okay like that. All right. Now we're making a coil pot, so we have to make the coils. And the way you do that is you take another piece of clay. You can't have that one. You can't have that one. Sorry. Okay, so I'm making a coil. So just in between my hands, I'm rolling out a coil. Now the best way to make a coil is to start with your hands together, and you're just rolling back and forth, and I'm going to start opening my fingers and moving my hands outward. And that's going to start stretching the clay and keeping the coil kind of even. If you get too thin in the middle, stop rolling on the middle and just go to the outer edges. You want to do that a few times until your coil is about the same width as the edge of your pot. Okay, so now I have a nice big coil, and I'm actually going to start right in that little hole that I had, and I'm going to stick this down in there, and I'm really going to kind of push it down on there and attach it with my fingers like that. And then I'm just going to take my coil and push it down onto the slip all the way around. Now, when you get to where you started, you should use the fork to score it again, all the way around. Put some more slip all the way around. And then you just keep going until your coil is done. Just going to push it down on there. Okay, so my coil is done. And now is a good time to take a look and see if you've got a lot of extra slip squishing out. So what you could do with that is just take your finger and roll it along the edge and pick up all that extra slip. And then it cleans up really nicely. You could do the same thing on the inside to clean that up. And then you can make another coil. So you can keep going. Oh, thank you. You can keep going I'm going to show you one more thing, but you can keep going with your coils. You just make coils, score and slip, and add the coils as tall as you want them to be, as tall as you want your pot to go. You can also add some decorative coils. So I'm making another coil. Now I'm going to make this one a pinwheel, so I'm actually going to make this one a little bit thinner than the wall of my pot. And then I'm going to roll it on itself like a pinwheel. I'm not really worrying about slipping and scoring this piece to itself. So here I have a pinwheel like that. Now to attach it to my pot though, I am going to score the top of the pot and I'm going to score the bottom of the pinwheel and I'm going to add a little bit of slip and I'm going to stick this on here like this. And then I really want to take my fingers and make sure that that bottom of the pinwheel is really attached. And I'm just sort of rubbing the clay and pushing the pinwheel down to push all that air out. Now you could do pinwheels all the way around, or you can score and put more slip and keep building up with your coils. Now, the pinwheels don't have to be the top of your pot. You can score the top of your pinwheel really gently, because you can see it's pretty wet and floppy. Put a little bit of slip on there and have your coils go right up over the top and incorporate that into your pot design. Then you would keep going with your coils, but you would go up and over, or you could go back and forth until you make it even. This is too complicated. So you just keep going until you get to a part where you like it. I think I'll make one more coil and see where I get to.
Lots of little coils around the corner, maybe.
Yeah, or even up and down like a caterpillar. Around the top. So I'm going to score this. And I'm going to slip. Now to even this out, I think I'm just going to kind of go back and forth to even it out with my spiral. But you can see I need kind of a lot of slip in between each layer. So here, I'm going to slip and go, I'm going to score. And slip. And then I'm going to turn back and go the other way. Maybe I'll just let that one go there. Like that. And then I'm going to clean it up. Now, if your pot starts to be a really funky shape, all you have to do is support it on the outside and take your fingers on the inside and go around. And you're pushing it against your hand gently to make your pot round again. And you'll notice it might even get a little bit bigger when you do that because you're stretching the clay a little bit. So it looks like maybe I could do another 1, 2, 3 coils and then get a pot about that big, which would be really nice.